Okay. And now when you talk about that, I'm just thinking someone who was asking me about, he was actually saying that genetically modified organisms are killing our bees. I really don't know how true that is, because when I did my research, I could not find any information that regards that. But because he's an informed person, I could not assume. And I said, this question, I'll come with it to you and ask you, is that a risk? Have you seen such, or have you, from a factual point of view, like, we are talking about facts, have you experienced that?
No, again, that's another myth that genetically modified crops are killing bees. That is not true. If anything is killing bees, it is the traditional food crops, because you have to use chemicals and pesticides. And these are the things that are killing the insects, the pollinators. A lot of these genetically modified crops are disease resistant. So you don't need to spray them, regularly with pesticides and all of you. So that's another myth, that's another misconception, which is basically unfounded. I have not seen any scientific publication linking the death of bees to genetically modified crops. The bees are being killed by the constant use of pesticides, another chemicals that we're using in our fields, and of course clearing of natural vegetation, which is the natural habitat for bees. But there's got nothing to do with the GMOs. That's another myth that needs to be debunked.
Yeah, and there are so many of them.
Yes.
And I think with time, this leads to our next question. Considering the kind of risk factors that we're facing as a continent, and we're looking at climate change, is there a chance of not going the GMO way, or can we stick to non-GMOs completely without looking at GMOs?
I think, like I said earlier, GMOs give us an opportunity to contribute significantly to increasing our food production, and therefore reduce insecurity. I would say it's a technology that we need to embrace and support, because it provides us with yet another tool that we can use to increase food productivity, especially at this time when we have serious food shortages. One of the problems that we are having right now, Rose, is drought. And this is a technology that can help us to develop crops that are resistant to drought. And it definitely has a contribution to make, even in mitigating climate change, because if we're able to plant crops out there and they're able to produce, to yield under drought conditions, we are solving two problems. One, mitigating climate change because of carbon sequestration, and secondly, we're increasing our food productivity.
Yeah, even as the population is increasing, you can see there's a lot of subdivision of land.
Right.
If we can be able to produce maximally using a small area, why not go for that? And I think land size is not increasing, but the population is increasing.
Sure.
We should embrace technologies that are giving us solutions.
Sure.
Now, in your own personal opinion, what is the role of an individual in this?
I think the role of an individual is to evaluate both sides of the story and make a personal decision. But I think before making that personal decision, you need to hear both sides of the story. Hear the non-GMO groups, hear the scientists, and make an informed decision. The individual needs to make that personal decision. And I think that personal decision could be enhanced if information on whether a product has GMO components or not was available. Then people are able to make informed decisions on whether to take the GMO product or not.
Yeah, we are coming to the end of our session.
To participate on our discussions, you can follow us on our social media platforms. That is on Twitter at EnviroCare Global, on Instagram at EnviroCare Global, on Facebook at EnviroCare Global, and on LinkedIn at EnviroCare Global. Remember to follow us, like our pages, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that whenever we have a new video up, you can be able to receive that notification. You can equally share with your friends so that we learn together and act together. Thank you.
And I come to you, Professor, you tell us your parting shot and call to action, especially on matters pertaining to GMOs.
My parting shot is just simple, and we need to answer this basic question. Do the benefits of GMO products far outweigh the risks? And I would say confidently that the perceived risks of GMO far outweigh the risks. You've seen people dying of hunger for example, in northern Kenya, it is so sad to see people dying because of lack of food.
In this
What-
age
in
where
this-
we
at
have
this
such
day
a
and age,
great
What
technology.
is GMOs? There have been questions about moral issues around the GMO products. So what is a bigger moral issue? To let people die of hunger, or to give them GMO food and perchance they will survive and they will not die because people have eaten GMO products and they have not died. I mean, look at the Americans, look at the Canadians, look at South Africans, look at many people in other parts of the world who have been eating GMO products for years and no substantial scientific research has linked GMO products with, for example, cancer. Those are myths that need to be debunked. My parting shot is that we need to embrace the technology, give it a chance to contribute to food productivity of our farms and reduce insecurity. And the other point is that we have been using other forms of GMOs without a lot of glamour. For example, insulin that is used to manage diabetes is a genetically modified product, and we inject it right into the blood
I
system
did know.
without any qualms. Why do we have a big problem with the foods? It's a genetically modified product. Yes, and we inject it right into the blood system.
Directly, not even
Directly.
eating to
Not
wait
even
for the
eating.
digestion, yeah?
We have embraced the technology.
Yeah.
There's a place for technology in the whole arena of providing solutions to food insecurity in Africa and Kenya in particular.
Wow, thank you so much for the information. You can see we have so many challenges as pertains environmental conservation and sustainability, and it's only you at an individual level and me that can act and ensure that we live in a sustainable world. And that's why we bring you all this information so that it can be able to help you and create awareness. You can follow us on all our social media handles, that is on Twitter at EnviroCare Global, on Instagram at EnviroCare Global, on Facebook at EnviroCare Global, and on LinkedIn at EnviroCare Global. My name is Rose Gishure, and we are here to inform you so that we can act on a sustainable world.